Okay, so we just finished. I measured out what we had. Oh, it's gone.
Yeah, that sounds a lot better. Right.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
We're back on another project. This is day one. Older house remodel. They ripped up some walls, but the tiles and the glue are asbestos. So we have a really cool process to go right over that without ripping it up and dealing with the asbestos, having a company come in. So as long as the tiles are good, we can coat over it. So the process we're gonna show you on this job, we're basically gonna coat over this existing floor and pretty much not disturb it at all. So we're not grinding, we're not sanding, we're not shot blasting, none of that stuff. So we're relying on our prep replacement primer, which is designed to stick to flat, smooth, glossy, whatever surface. It's some rowdy primer. So we're gonna be showcasing that on this project, and then we're gonna be flood coating it with epoxy. That's gonna help lock everything in, and then we're gonna be broadcasting to rejection silica sand. That's gonna give us a nice profile for our concrete overlay material to go over it. So day one, we just showed up. The owner prepped it all. He popped up any loose tiles. Again, when you're dealing with asbestos, definitely don't want to be sanding, creating dust, the fine particles, right? And so we're trying to eliminate that by just scraping stuff, vacuuming it. This is just linoleum. He sanded this with 80 grit. And so we're basically coating over everything, and we're relying on that prep replacement primer. We've done this a bunch. So I'm gonna take you next door. Cool thing is he had VCT tile that had asbestos. He did our hardwood kit over there, completely different application, same exact products, it's just a different system that we sell. So it's cool to show you guys this. So we'll head over here. Knocky, knocky. And Alex actually, he did a lot of stuff in here with our products, so I'll kind of show you that too. Can we come in?
Yeah.
Okay. So, very similar house over there. He pretty much gutted this house and redid everything. Did a lot of our products in here. So this is the floor though. White grout lines, white overlay stain. What stain do we use?
Light gray, but we did a couple coats to make it a little bit darker.
Yeah, a little bit darker. So beautiful, beautiful floor. Whole floor. He did his whole house. Master bedrooms, all the bedrooms, the bathrooms. Beautiful. So the other stuff that he did was his counters. This is one of our counter kits as well. Very, very cool. And again, this has been down about a year and a half, 2 years. Thing looks brand new still. And they cook on it, cut on it, cutting boards obviously, but they use it like an actual counter. And then he did his shower too with our concrete overlay. He did all the walls in the shower and ceiling. Very, very cool. And then he built these tables as well. Concrete overlay. So it's all, he did all of our concrete overlay and then the epoxy on the counters. And then they got a cool little table for the kids that they also use as a bench for this table. So a lot of versatility with the products. We come across so many different people locally that are doing so much random things. They want to coat over this, can I coat over that? And we try to get on as much projects as we can and kind of help them or do it with them, so we can film it so you guys can see, you know, all the things that you can do with these coatings and the right processes that we would do. And again, relying on the prep replacement primer. The stuff is some rowdy stuff and it's designed to stick to smooth, glossy, sealed type surfaces. And so that's the plan here. Mix up our prep replacement primer. We're gonna roll that out. It's gonna dry quick. So we're gonna get started, finish scraping, vacuum, get everything clean. All right, so while Trey's in there vacuuming the floor, getting it all cleaned up, I'm gonna go over mixing our prep replacement primer. It's just a 2-to-1 ratio, 2 parts A to 1 part B. So I'm gonna dump the majority of the part A in. Probably have some stuff that's settled, some product in there. Get this product that's settled, the components that's settled in here. Now we're gonna add our B. So the B is gonna be a little bit thicker, actually a lot thicker. And we send out some custom paint sticks you can get in these cans to get it all out. It mixes in really nice and easy. And then we're gonna mix 2 to 3 minutes, low speeds. I don't wanna be splashing this all over. I'll scrape my sides, halfway of 1.5 minutes mixing, mix it another 1.5 minutes, and this should be good to go. All right, so this is ready to go. So this can sit in the bucket. It's not gonna generate heat like epoxy does. And what we're gonna be doing is just pouring beads out, rolling it out, pour more bead out, roll it out. It just goes a lot faster than dipping and rolling. Can you dip and roll? Absolutely. But this primer is designed to go on super thin. And so you'll see when we apply it. So we'll wrap this up. We're pretty much gonna be done here real soon. What we're gonna do, turn on, or not turn on, but we're gonna open that door. We'll get some nice airflow here. If we're putting this down, we gotta put the next coating over it within about an hour, within a couple hours, or it's gonna become a hard sealed surface. So we'll get this down and we'll go over putting the epoxy coat down next. All you coating contractors, if you want to set your business apart or add a revenue generating machine to your current business, go to LeggariAcademy.com. You're going to learn over 10 coating systems and you're going to be doing projects just like this. We basically use 3 quarts of prep replacement primer to coat 450 square feet of flooring over VCT, a smooth surface. And so they're going to jump in mix. I'm gonna spread it real quick, we'll cross roll it, and then we'll start throwing the sand on the floor. You guys ready? Let's do it. Okay, we got product mixed. Biggest thing, dump it out on the floor once it's mixed. It's always good to flood a floor thick to get it perfectly level and flat. So just keep in mind, if you're trying to do a metallic floor or a decorative epoxy floor, you're not doing the sand, and you wanna make sure you put enough epoxy down to level out everything in the floor. So when you do your decorative coat, you have this nice flat surface like you would if you went over concrete. And so we're gonna get started. We're gonna do beads wall to wall. A bunch of beads right across for this section, and then same thing, a bunch of beads here. And then I'll go the opposite direction of the beads, and I'm gonna start spreading it with the squeegee. All right, so we got a little left, and what we'll do is once we get the majority of the floor covered, we're gonna go back and you can see the wet spots. We're gonna try to get it all so it's dry, like, see how it just looks like dry sand? That's what we want to get it like. And we've went through 1 bag so far. I don't even know if we'll probably use 2 bags, 450 square feet, 200-pound bags. And then when we scuff it up real quick, scrape it, clean it, we might run a sander over it real quick. We'll have some porous silica sand where the overlay can soak into as well. And so that's the plan. We'll finish this up, come in tomorrow, and get the first coat of overlay down, maybe 2, you never know. Very cool process. This floor is absolutely rowdy right now. You can see where we grinded. I mean, this is hard to grind like a concrete floor would be. So adding that silica sand, epoxy, this floor's basically probably indestructible. So yeah, we're gonna be hydrating as we pour and coat, but very simple process. As long as you're hydrating and keeping the slab satisfied with moisture, this is very simple because we just literally dump out what we need, spread it out, dump some more, spread it out, dump some more. So you can do stuff very, very fast. It doesn't dry out or set up or kick off in a bucket like epoxy does. So it's a lot different product, right? It's a cementous-based product, plenty of working time as long as we're hydrating. We're gonna be doing 2 coats of texture coat on this floor. First thing we do when we mix, we pop open a bucket. We pour half, 3/4 out into the garbage can, and then we put the paddle wheel into the 5-gallon bucket of polymer. We mix that up. What that's gonna do is if any polymers have settled to the bottom, we wanna make sure we get that mixed in, mix it up, we'll dump the rest in. Once that's in, if you guys are pigmenting it, we would add our pigment packs into the polymer at that point before adding the bags. Now we're gonna open the bags. And so slowly add the bags, dump it out. Make sure you're wearing a mask. And then the guy that's mixing with the drill, he's spinning it fast, making sure no clumps or chunks are gonna fall and sink to the bottom because they can stick to the bottom. So again, very simple to mix. And this is the same for any overlay. Nothing changes no matter if you're doing a texture deck or a hardwood kit or texture deck kit. It's all mix ratios are all the same. It's game time. Hold what, the camera? All right, so check it out. I'm filming myself right now. What we're gonna do, we're gonna slap some material on the ground.
You have to go on a different
We're
setting.
gonna slap some material on the ground.
No, okay, all right. I regret every decision.
Okay, so getting ready to do the second coat. Now, reason we're doing another coat, number one is we're staining, and this is a white floor, and we can kind of see some darker hues through it. Like right here's really white. Right here is really dark, and we're doing a lighter stain, and that's gonna highlight through the stain, and you'll see that in the floor. And so we wanna get a nice white canvas, and then by the time we sand that, do our scratch coat to make that smooth floor, it should be a nice white canvas. And they've already mixed it up. We're gonna be hydrating as we go, same thing like we did. So exact same process that we did. The only different thing we're doing is we're gonna try to fan out the floor in all different directions. We're gonna break up those trowel lines, that trowel pattern, to make them go all different directions. And then when we stain it, it just creates a cooler, more even finish throughout the floor. Obviously larger floors, right? Like if we were doing a 20-foot span by like 30-foot room, we would just go wall to wall, do like a section, couple foot section, and then we would, you know, feather out those trowel lines, do another couple foot section. But obviously rooms, smaller stuff like this, you'll kind of see how we do it. And so the difference between the texture coat and the scratch coat is the texture coat has crushed marble in the mix. That's what gives us our build, what gives us the thickness to basically give us a layer of product down on the floor. Now the scratch coat doesn't have crushed marble, doesn't have any aggregate in the mix, so it's a feather edge material. It's designed to go on thin, be scratched on tight, and what it's gonna do is it's gonna fill in all the low peaks after we've sanded in that floor, and that's how we create these smooth floors. So pretty cool process. So ready to stain. They got it in the sprayer. Always test spray before you just come out and start staining. You might be shooting a straight stream, you never know. And so this is our light brown concrete overlay stain. Just a light mist. You can always come back, do more. We can't undo what we've already sprayed down. All right, so got the first lighter coat down, and you can really see some really cool variations in color. Like I really like this look right through here. These are more, maybe a little bit lighter spots, but you're gonna get all kinds of different variation of color, looks when you do this process, which is cool, and that's just the nature of staining. And so what we're gonna do now is go around and kind of spot hit, like we're gonna stain again, but we wouldn't stain this area again. So we're gonna go around and hit lighter areas to try to even it out. Floor's finished, obviously trim ain't up, everything ain't moved in. We'll try to come back when that's done. Hopefully they had the island done and we can kind of show you the final footage of everything completed. Should look really good.